Okay, hey, what's up, everyone? Well, today I want to talk about something a little bit more serious, and um, as I've been posting my reaction videos of Nick Pullum, NMPLOL, Extra Emily, and Mr. Arthur in New York City, which has been great entertainment, by the way. There have been a few things that have happened since my post this morning, um, and this involves around Extra Emily and her comments about her college tuition, how her parents paid for it for her to go to college at Columbia, very prestigious school, very expensive, and how she owes them $170,000. And there was comments made which really sparked some controversy. Let's go ahead and play it. This one is from Streamer TV, and we'll go ahead and play some of those videos.
In recent news, ExtraEmily hit social media after users shared that ExtraEmily cries on stream after chat cooks her for not wanting to pay her parents back $140,000, and that LSF thread posts were also deleted about it. Here are the controversial clips.
Yeah, it's fine. The only reason they want me to pay it back is because I'm a streamer.
Yeah, you should pay it back.
Because I didn't use my degree. So they're like, okay.
How much is it?
170K.
You should pay it back.
I don't want to. I mean, I did pay them 10K, and then I was like, I'm over this. I don't want to pay anymore.
Mom, do you think it's a waste that I went to college?
That is a really good question. I spent a lot of money on that, and then you become a streamer.
Yeah, but I'm also helping.
That's a really good question. I don't know how to answer it.
But I'm paying you back for college.
Yes, that's right. That's a necessary.
That's necessary?
Yeah, we're almost broke because you went to the college, go to the expensive one. Yeah.
Do you think that would be your best gift towards your dad or your parents to pay back your tuition?
I'm never going to pay it back, though.
Wait, actually?
No, I don't want to.
But you could.
Yeah, but I'm not going
Wait, do you
to.
have student loans?
Yeah, student loans to my parents.
And you're making them pay it off?
No, like, my parents paid, and then they're like, pay us back for college, and I just, like, don't want to.
Okay.
But don't you think that would make them like really happy and proud?
No, they're fine.
Are you doing it kind of like almost out of spite because you're like, I don't want to because like I can, but I know that you guys don't need it?
Yes.
That's why you don't.
Yes, they don't need it. And I'm
You
like,
don't need it.
I'm just a bad daughter.
You are. No, you know what it is? It's exhaustion.
Yeah, I think I'm just exhausted.
It's exhausting. Listen, if it makes you feel any better, at least your parents still talk to you.
Yeah, my parents are cool.
I only got one left.
Like, my parents are like overall really happy and think I'm a good daughter.
You are a great daughter.
I don't know.
No, Arthur, what have you done?
They were very happy that I bought Cancun for them.
Let's go to...
After this started blowing up, posts then started getting shared on LSF, then removed for claimed to be clickbait, and then NMP shared his response from Discord in the following screenshots. Why are you so RT'd? Because she has her own way of dealing with her own personal relationships with her. He pushed it for so long because he forgot for a second how his stunted Twitch chat can be, that's all. I'm surprised I didn't get any yet, to be honest.
I'm not going to hate. It's just the point that they literally made her sign a paper saying she would pay $14,000 each year back, and they still bring it up every time they see her, considering how wealthy she is, should be at least doing that. She just kept saying I'm over it, which makes her look extremely entitled. Maybe there's more to it, so keep a level head. Just comes off that way. She really thought it was funny that she doesn't want to pay them back, but once chat told her she's being selfish, she cried, which is probably how she's got her way her whole life. Only simps were encouraging her. Not even Nick or Arthur were on her side.
In the latest update, Extra Emily responds in an offline chat in the following. Guys, Twitter is so mean, holy shiz. I'm just going to delete the app for the rest of the week. Okay, I deleted it. The replies under my Aces tweet are insane, school. I've got to post sponsored tweet sometimes. I'm worried. Wait, I blocked the first account and no one is replying anymore. Maybe that fixed it. I don't know. Stop completely. Oh my god, why didn't I do it earlier? But I blocked and I don't know if anything's coming through anymore. I think people are replying, but I just can't see them laugh my ass off. It stops the replies, but for me, do you think people can still reply?
Okay, we're gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna show you a response from Fiona Fan Fan. Okay, Fan Fan wrote, people are being mean to Emily, so here I am. I'm in the same boat as her. So if you're still mad at Emily, you can be mad at me too. My mom paid my college tuition. We have a super close relationship, and she makes the same. Pay me back for my wasted money jokes. And before anyone says it's not a joke, ask yourself who knows them better: a stranger who saw some clips online or someone who spent their entire life with them since birth. Like Emily, I will not be paying my mom back. Instead, I pay her for her mortgage, bills, food, flights, and my brother's college tuition. Similarly, Emily prefers helping her parents out the same way or treating them those vacations, which she quite literally just did, instead of just giving them a big sum of money. She could have publicly offered this up information to defend herself. She was clearly just making a lighthearted comment that is technically true and fits on her on-screen persona. So I don't know why the convo went on for so long. I'd be lucky if my future daughter takes care of me the way Emily does hers. Some of you need to worry about yourself and your own parents first. Okay, so that was Extra Emily. Let me go ahead and close this. Close that Goo ranking. And let's close this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about my feelings about this. Being Asian, one of the things that my grandfather had always told us when we were young, like maybe as young as 5 or 6, study, 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 because one day you'll have to take care of your family. And it was something that was the preparation right there. Pretty much making sure that we were going to take care of our family. And hold on there. It's back. Okay. I think in my case, my parents took a different route. They chose not to pay for my college or my brother's college. The thing is that they felt that they want us to learn the hard way of you know what, you work, you take you need to have responsibilities, you work. Actually though, that's since high school, one of the, well, not just high school, actually pretty much all my life, there are pressures that you probably hear about it, you see it talked about Asian parents. There was a lot of pressure for me, including my brother, to have great grades in school. A lot of pressure, and the hard part about all of this is that, you know, when similar to Emily, I grew up in an area, that was predominantly not Asian, and there were a few Asians, and it was almost like comparing yourself with the Jones, but comparing yourself with other Asian families, and I guess you could say it was something that I disliked a lot. Why aren't you like this person? This person got this and this and this and this, and it's like, my gosh, nothing is. No matter how hard I worked and no matter how many A's I got, it's never good enough. And I just felt that I was living my life trying to get these perfect grades, not for my own happiness, but I felt like I was doing it for them. And it was such a thing that I felt almost sort of a resentment because I was being pressured, to to overachieve. It was just something that was ingrained in me ever since I was young. You must do well. You must have a great job because you're going to take care of your family. It was just something that I, it was tough. It was tough. But you know what? You know, I did very well in high school. I did very well in college. And I also got great grades. I also graduated magna cum laude. And the thing is that like some of my Asian friends that I went to college with, we did not, um, we did not go into careers that we graduated college with. I know a lot of my friends, they ended up, some of them who graduated with a degree, they went to law school. Um, I didn't go to law school. I did something else, and then I ended up more in technology. And my path through technology was through the Silicon Valley, and somehow that one then led to working more towards the Japanese and entertainment industry. Um, Started off with the anime, and then also within the Japanese music industry. But the thing is that it it's not the path that my parents probably liked. And that's the thing is that I know with a family member with my brother, he chose to, he was the person that would likely be an engineer, and he became an engineer. But the thing is that um, he was more of the person that was less rebellious about it, whereas I was more rebellious about it. I questioned those things. I felt that I was the person. I understand with, let's say that with Extra Emily, and from hearing from the videos and hearing about her, she was the only child in her family. Fan, I know that she was pushed, for to become a figure skater, and she chose a different path. Um, I did not become a doctor. I was actually I was so geared after high school to become, you know, to look for a path to become a doctor, to go into pre med. I was looking at schools at, USC, UCLA, but I didn't go that direction. I went for something else. It's not the direction that my family probably were like, well, agree with. But the thing is I chose my own path, and I think that's what made things different for me. Where my parents, I don't want to use the word shame, but the thing is that when you tend to deviate from a plan or the typical, I guess you could say the Asian upbringing of, you there's a path of A to B. You do well in school, get a great job, make a lot of money, then then you take care of your family. I don't want to say the children are the insurance policy, but the thing is that it's, you know, I think it's something that Asian families are ingrained with. I'm not talking about all Asian families because it just depends, of course, the status of the Asian family. If they were educated, yes, there are high expectations of it, and if they were more Americanized, there are high expectations of it. But it's very an interesting situation. And my feeling is that for Emily's case, that um, yes, her family did pay for it. They did have her sign a contract saying that she does have to pay back money. But I feel that there are that's probably something they do out of responsibility and making sure that you put those demands that because that person has to work to pay it off to show that hey, you are you are working a good job and you are able to meet your obligations. Whether or not they need it, they may not need it, but I think it's due to obligation and respect your family. That's what they wanted her to do, knowing that she makes money. And yes, she may make a lot of money per month. Maybe she's probably a multimillionaire or a millionaire, over multimillionaire probably by now. Um, is it selfish for her not to pay off all the debt? Is it selfish not to um, pay to pay more than what she got? I think some people have different perspectives of that, and I know that there are people when they make money, a lot of money, you hear of them paying for their family's home, their mortgage, taking them to a grand trip and more. um but the thing is that there is no obligation. I think if anything is that um if she still contributes money, you don't no one knows, no one knows the full details. She didn't really comment it all in full. She just said I don't want to pay them back. I think that let's see here. I think even it's like 140,000 or 170,000, whatever it may be. um I think if anything is that first of all, it's her business, it's no one else's business. But at the same time, I kind of want to give a perspective of how Asian families are, and I could tell you that I have a Korean friend, and his family, who are wealthy, put him through college. But the thing is that his feeling was he wanted, he used college as a way to stay in America longer, and also as a way for them to pay money, um, uh, and to pay for his college education for an extensive amount of time. But there was no question about that. It was more of as long as you're doing what you can to become a better person, to have enough money to take care of yourself and your family. And there are several Asians I know who do that, where they stay in college for a very long time. Uh, so they're well taken care of, and I can only imagine for staying in college that long how much it costs in the grand scheme of things. But my feeling is that for Extra Emily's case, what she said, we do not know what else she does. We don't know what else she contributes. But at the same time, um, we don't know her the challenges her growing up. I do know that there's a lot of pressures. I do know that with Chinese families, because even my brother was married to a a Chinese woman, and I know of the relationships with their family, and it's tough because it's very competitive. Of between families and children of trying to be the best or trying to make the most money or have the impression of making the most money and everything. This is not just Chinese. This goes on with other Asian families as well. Primarily, again, educated families. I make that distinction because this goes into another subject that I probably will talk about, and that's about families that you have in other countries who feel that because you are an American who is educated, you're obligated to pay money to them because they make less than you. And that's one of the reasons why I tend not to to get too much involved with relatives overseas, because there was a time where like, oh, I want to meet everybody, and then I think I opened Pandora's box right there. It started with when you do your DNA and then you see family members and so forth, and you start searching, and for some people they'll discover some awesome things about extended family, and in my case it was the opposite of by the way, while I was investigating and looking and so forth and contacting people maybe on social media and so forth, and then the first things they say, hello, I'm your relative, and then after that, I need some money, can you please lend it to me? And and I do not know how many messages I've received from extended family of asking for money, and I I it's one thing to have close family. I'm not talking about direct family, but close family that may need it because of something important overseas. But when I'm well aware that there are people out there who do take advantage of people for that. And I think one of the best examples it was that, um, again, non-educated and educated family, and those especially who are living abroad versus those who are not. My parents went to vacation, and I told them about these people I met online, and they went on. My parents went on to visit them, and again, the first thing they start asking for is money. And so they said, "Oh, we need it because our business is doing bad," and you know, and my parents said, "Okay, we'll loan you some, with the condition that you pay us back." They ended up using the money not for business wise, but to put their family through a trip to Singapore. And my dad was livid. And he says, we had this agreement, they'll pay me back. And I said, I told my dad, you know what? It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And, he knew that was true. It was not going to happen. It's just the thing is that uh, people just feel it convenient that if you are from an extended family and you're educated and you live overseas, that you're obligated to give them money because you make more than them, or that you have to. They expect you to. And the way I look at it is that we all have our own problems, right? And we all work hard to make our money. Nothing grows on trees. We work our ass off for it. And some people make a ton of money where they can give their money away any way they want. But the thing is, though, is that thing that and I go back to what my grandparents told me. And he says, you know what? You got to do well for yourself because one of these days you're going to have to take care of your family. And it goes beyond that because, um, you know, I had this conversation with a friend not long ago, and he was saying we were talking about the future because he has three or four daughters, and he told me that I'm putting my four daughters through school. They're young, but the thing is that you know I've been putting almost all of my paycheck, anything extra, towards my daughter's education. And he says, I'm going to tell you right now, it's something you should consider doing. All your money, everything you make, everything, you pay enough for your bills, but everything else, you put it towards their education. And you make sure that, that they're taken care of education wise. Well, you see, the thing is that I disagreed with that because my parents didn't do that with me. Since I was younger, as I told you, we had to have the good grades, but we also had to learn things the hard way. My parents, well, when I was younger, I actually lived with my grandmother on my father's side, and she was so strict that she wanted me to learn things the traditional way because she felt in America, we were, spoiled. We do not know the way they had to live back then growing up. And I'm like, I just remembered, you know, having to learn how to do things at such a young age, from ironing clothes to not just I remember when even with washing clothes, they said, yeah, we have a washer and dryer, but learn how to do it on your own by hand. I'm like, what? And even like mopping, nope, you know what? We want you to clean that by hand. I'm like, I will tell you, I felt that was hell. I did not know what the heck I was being put through. I said, "Here I am going," and I like I said, I instantly rebelled because my life being pushed to focus on school, and now I'm dealing with this other situation of having to learn the customs of Asia, of learning things that were not done in things that were not done in America, but somewhere in another country, but how they had to learn the hard way, and they want to instill that into me. And at first, that it caused a lot of friction. I could tell you that with myself and this family side. This is, it's really really interesting because my mother's side is more Americanized, my father's side is not, and so in a way, I was like, what kind of life is this? And I really couldn't understand it. And um, to make matters even more interesting is that it's the time when I lived in Los Angeles, during that time when I did move in with that side of the family, um, to learn about the family culture, and also to learn to go to a different school and see how things are. And in a way that I could say that living there did give me a sense of independence and also that rebelliousness. But at the same time, I started to learn that, as an Asian person, um, I was m- I was much different than they were, and the fact that a lot of them spoke their own ethnicity's language. They were fluent. They were not Americanized. They were more of some. Not all were Americanized. A lot of them came from overseas, but at the same time, it was just such a unique situation that I've never seen before. Because again, I grew up in an area with few Asians, and here I am with so many Asians of different ethnicities. And the biggest thing they didn't all hang out with each other. Whereas where I lived, all the Asians hung out. Everyone hung out. Didn't matter what race you were, white, black, Mexican, Asian. Everyone hung out. And in Los Angeles, it was just like I didn't understand why so many cultures were segregated. Granted, um, I was an athlete, so I did, I was part of teams with, mixed cultures and it was the way I raised. So I was raised, so there I had no problem, um, meeting people with from different ethnicities or hanging out with them. So that was not a problem. But the thing is, though, is that um, while living with that side of the family, education was also preached upon, and going out was a no-no. In fact, that was something I grew up with my life. That I remember, being younger, and kids from school coming. Can you come out and play? And I would say no, and I had to, make up an excuse that I was grounded for 100 days. That was actually a common excuse I gave because we had to study all the time. We had to stay home and study. My parents did not believe in having any fun day with friends. If we wanted fun day, hey, they gave us video game consoles or some things we can do at to play at certain times. But the thing is, the focus was on our education and studying and studying and studying. And I could tell you that again, depending on how you are as a person, but growing up in America and um, growing up with that style of teaching, I didn't understand it at all because when I go to school, none of my friends were like that. Their parents let them do, pretty much whatever. I didn't have that. Um, in hindsight, I can understand now what my parents were trying to do. In hindsight, I can see what my grandparents' side, my father's side, were trying to do. And in a way, I do have respect for that because this is what they were brought up on, and they felt that they were given the chance when they immigrated to the United States that their children would have a better life, better education, and that was very, very important. So the thing is that um, you know, in terms of what my parents, they didn't pay for my college, but they did do a lot for me. Was I very um, was I selfish about it? And I could say, yeah, there are certain things I was selfish about because I felt that there was that rebellious side that says, you know what, I went through so much, I missed so much of my childhood because all I did was study, 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 study. And then, um, again, it just, it is what it is. So not everyone ends up in the profession that they studied for. And some people, they do very well, and some people don't. I was very fortunate that, I have good parents. I may not have been the perfect child, but the thing is that, yeah, or nor did I become a doctor or a lawyer. But the thing is that I did pretty well, and but the thing is that would you have paid your parents back if I was in that situation? I think those things will cross your mind of if you have a lot of money, you would like to do that. But here's another thing that also comes into play: fiscal responsibility. Very thing, something with the Japanese culture. Very important with the Chinese culture for some people. And I say for some people because there are families that preach upon not spending a lot of money, not being flashy. Do not spend on the expensive cars. Just get a car that works. Everything else, you know, um, is uh, to do other things, maybe family trips or something, or buying your kids a car when when they're ready to drive or something like that. But uh, you know, then you have another side of the of the coin where parents are mad money. Um, they their children learn the same thing. They want the fast sports cars. They want the big mansion, and almost it's like almost like the Kardashian life, right? Um, not all Asians are like that. I've known Asians like that, but not all Asians are like that. Um, so I think with Emily, she came with a family who looked like they've you know living in Nebraska. I don't know what kind of family background, but I just again hearing from what she's said on her streams, and and from the way she's very also fiscally conservative. Um, I think there's a lot of people who are like that, who are fiscally conservative, and there are times when I'm like that at times. AKA being a tightwad. Um, I've heard that said many times. Me not, me. I'm actually, I actually kind of, I'm not that bad. My brother is hardcore, fiscally conservative. Um, he's more of the type uh, that will not spend big money. He would, if he does something, he would buy books or uh, give used books or go to a drugstore for a present or something like that. That's on get something on sale. That's nothing bad. I don't have anything against that. The way I look at it is that I've always accepted that with him. His thing is always having saving his money to buy. Well, actually, he's not even flashy, even with the cars and the clothes he drives. He actually is able to travel all around the world because of the money he saves up, and I think that's pretty smart. He puts his money and it towards investments. I do the same, but the thing is, it's just not. That's I think that's he's more fiscally conservative though, whereas I don't mind buying nice watches or nice clothes. He's pretty much, he doesn't go all out on that. So I think that's another difference right there. But yeah, a lot of families you'll meet people who are really really fiscally conservative. They will live well under under the means and make that dollar stretch. Um, and sometimes it's always by choice. They just don't want to spend that much money, and um, trust me, sometimes I get into that mode as well. So especially when it comes to bartering, um, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, do I now? Do I feel negative about what Extremely Emily said during her live stream about her parents? No, I don't. I don't. Because, again, I see it a little differently. I see it when she says she does, no, I'm not going to. It's probably there's something there because it's the relationship with her and her family where, you know, she probably gives them money for other things. As Fan said, with her mother, she's not gonna pay him back, but she pays for their mortgage and she pays for other things. There's other things, if she pays for their trips, that's cool. If she pays for, if she save in the fact that is she is saving her, she is not a big spender, and she, if she does save her money, and if her parents may need some of that, she can always help them out. I do not find it any negative for her to say no. I think it was just being honest, because I really do not know of any Asian friends who have actually paid their parents back for their college education. Seriously, I do not know of any. Yes, she talked about the contract. They talk about it when they have fun discussing it online with Stream. But even then, I don't think there's a really true expectation that you must do it, or I think if anything is that if she makes some payments and and she shows progress, that the decision that she made has become lucrative, and she's doing well for herself, I think that's more than enough for a lot of parents to know that their children are well taken care of. And if something happens, that their children probably can afford to possibly take care of them, especially if as they get older, if one passes away or so forth. God forsake that doesn't happen to anyone soon, but I've been there, and it's just not a it's just something that just happens that people sometimes just don't prepare for. And I could tell you right now that the fact that she does have parents that she does talk to, that she can visit, that she can talk and have fun with, but at the same time that she can show them that even though she may have not pursued the career that she went to school for, she actually chose something that she is making money, and she's able to travel and able to do things. And if her parents, and she, to continue this quote unquote, I guess you could say career, online career, that that allows her to, take care of her families in other ways, buying a new car, taking them on trips, who knows? So I don't think anyone should actually, go all out and scrutinize ExtraEmily for that. Because everyone's different. Everyone has different lifestyles. But I do know that with the Asian culture, and I know that from, you know, maybe Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, well, some Filipinos, um, because I know that with some friends, their parents don't care so much if they. Some parents like my friend who is a psychiatrist. He said with his daughters, he's he makes sure that he um, broke the uh, broke the paradigm of what his family expected, and that's becoming a doctor, and also putting his family and putting his kids through college and so forth. Um, but again, I do not know of so many kids who say, "Yes, I will pay you back for my college education." I think, if anything, I do understand on the other side of things why people are very critical, because she makes a lot of money. But again, she's not a person that spends a lot of money either. And again, it's we do not know too much about her background, and nor should we care. I think, if anything, it's just part of the livelihood of being parasocial and getting involved of other people's lives. But again, you only get so much from an online persona, and not knowing the actual true details of what goes on behind the scene. So yeah, I kind of feel for her. I do, because you know she's a person that doesn't like to disappoint her fans, and doesn't like to disappoint anyone. She likes everything to be happy, upbeat, and you know what? all power to her, all power to her, and again, coming from, this is from an Asian, talking about with my family perspective, and also sharing with, I know, with other friends and their situations, and again, I don't see too much difference from what she said from what how my other friends, including myself, are. There is not. If anything, my parents, again, they didn't pay for my college, but they wanted to see some responsibility of that, all the hard work you put in school, leads to something. And if anything, that's all we can, I may not have had the career that they would hope for, but they know that, even though it was much different, I'd like to think that they were proud of what I accomplished. And then, yes, my brother, they definitely know that, I do know that they were proud of him, because he did follow their path and become something. Uh, he applied his love for mathematics, and applied that towards his career, and he's doing wonderfully well. And he is more towards their ideal perspective of how one should, the path that one should follow. I'm more of the rebellious side, that I did not follow that path to become a doctor or a lawyer, and I'm doing something different that I went to school for. But similar to Extra Emily and Fan and other uh, Asians who are streaming online, who are doing well. Granted, they have all the viewers. I don't. I do it for my job, my day job. So I'm very fortunate for that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, everyone. Yeah, just something that's an interesting discussion to, to to um, to to take part of, and just lend you my perspective of it. It's nothing. It's just, I'm just, again, someone who can understand what she meant, and also can understand the other side as well, of what people are thinking, of how and why the comment may have upset them. I understand both sides, but yeah, but do know that culture does play a big role in how, and the perspective of how things are, especially with Asian culture, and their pursuit of educational brilliance and making big money in the end. Yep, yep. The children, again, I read a comment. The children are the insurance policy once their parents get older. Yeah, they invest in your kids to do well. So, again, that it was ingrained in my head. My grandfather, God bless his soul, has always said that to me since I was probably 5 years old, 4 years old, probably. Always repeating that over and over and over, and emphasized it all through my life. And I understand why. I do understand why. I can understand. Okay, everyone, you take care, and I will see you later. Wink, wink, and